Anyway, if there are no other questions, we will be I'll be covering the last section of this training, which is basically SKL's policy regarding the Armory assets. Alright, so once you've had fun with your Colossi, please meet me back at, I'll mark it with Platoon Squad. So please meet me back at Platoon Waypoint. Please don't shoot too much with the Colossus cannons. You can stay in your shiny tanks if you'd like, but please don't do a lot of shooting. It's hard to talk over, you know, gigantic railguns and cannons going off. I'll give everyone a minute to get over to Platoon Way.
Take some ammunition.
Alrighty, I think most of us are here. So, SKL's policy regarding the Armory usage. If anyone, first thing I should probably mention, if anyone forgets or needs a quick refresher on the Armory policy, which I'm about to state, access to the SKL Discord, which you quite frankly should, there is a tab on there called, I believe it's Armory Discussion now. Let me just check that quickly, actually. Okay, it is in the Leadership tab, and it is under Event Scheduling. It is called Armory Discussion. In the pinned messages there, you will basically see the standard loadout. So how many of each asset that we use. I forgot to mention this earlier, I probably should have, but every armory, the Anvils, the Steel Rain, the Citadel, the Orbital Strike, and the Colossus, each take up a certain weight class. So they take up a certain amount of weight, that is, and how much you have, how much you can carry is visible next to the war assets in the Armory menu itself. So if you go to the Armory menu, on the right side below the resources and to the right of war assets, you'll see an 287 out of. So that's how much weight you have and how much you can carry. Because of that limitation, and it is the same across all outfits, we do have a standard Armory loadout. So, which can be referred to in the discussion. But it should be, to my memory, 2 medium anvils, 4 heavies, 2 orbital strikes, a Citadel shield, and a Steel Rain. So I'll probably have to mess around with the anvils later. Our current mix of medium and heavy anvils, currently we have 2 mediums and 5 heavies. It should be 2 mediums and 4 heavies. I mean, we have the light anvils, so... how can we tell when our rank is in the outfit? Okay, we got rid of the Steel Rain recently. I do like it on hand, though, because it takes 15 minutes to craft, but that is fair. So, updated Armory loadout is 2 medium anvils, 4 heavies, and Citadel shield, and 2 OSs. How can we tell when our rank is in the outfit? Oh, do you mean what your rank is in the outfit? Because you can check by going to the outfit homepage and going to, and then go to members at the bottom left, and you'll see basically whoever's online and their rank in the outfit. Pretty much how you check. So, yeah, press escape, go to outfit, home, and go to members, and you'll see your rank in the outfit. So, policy regarding usage. Standard Armory loader I just covered, but for just to make things streamlined, 2 mediums, 4 heavies, a Citadel, and 2 OSs. The modules and the anvils, you have pretty much free reign to use those, but bear in mind that we may not always have enough green. Right now we're actually a little bit low on the green resource, so meter your usage accordingly. The modules take, as I said, craft 5 at a time, so try not to craft the modules unless you're 55 out of 60 or below. So for example, the light vehicle discounts, if you take a look at the Armory menu, scroll down, the light vehicle discounts being crafted right now, that's a good craft because you get all 5. However, the module I'm about to craft, say heavy air discounts, at 57 out of 60, not so good. You'll only craft 3 and you'll have wasted 2. So if you're low on green, bear in mind you'll probably want to get the most mileage out of your resources. Oh no, punish me. Anyway. So yeah, the modules and the anvils are pretty much free to use for those who have the... Just bear in mind that other elites may want to use them as well, so don't go spamming them as hard as you can, because they do take time to craft, they do take resources to craft, and other people might be testy at you. The Steel Reins and Citadel Shields are the sort of next rank up, because they cost blue, and quite frank, and this blue is harder to get. Yeah, Yep, the Steel Rain and Citadel Shield, these are free to use as long as you have a specific objective in mind. So we want people to experiment with the Armory, but we don't want people to just, use them for farming. So if you're, platoon leading or squad leading and you want to try Citadel shooting a tower, for example, feel free to do that. If you want to drop 12 maxes on a point cap, do that. But don't just, we've only got one of them, so don't go spamming them as hard as you can. Generally, the Steel Rain in particular is only really used where there's not enough time for galaxy drops, or Valk drops or something similar. And the Citadel Shield is an option when you really need to deny the enemy firing lines, or you need that portable cover to push up. And finally, the Orbital Strike and the Colossus Heavy Tank. These basically have to be used for specific objectives. So Orbital Strikes will typically for alerts and for crucial caps or crucial defenses. And the Colossus Heavy Tanks either have to be scheduled in advance or used specifically for armor column or bastion killing things. These are we don't get the opportunity to craft these like mad. So any farming use, we basically don't have the resources. As much as we would like to constantly drop OSs and farm the hell out of the enemy, we don't have the resources for that. So our outfit actually frowned very heavily upon just spam orbital strikes and colossi around. So as long as you're platoon leading and it's an alert and you're using them for a good objective, feel free to use the orbital strikes and the Colossus heavy tanks. But other than that, there really isn't a big use case for them, at least not in this outfit. Okay, that is, I think, the end. If anyone has any questions about the Armory at all, that is the end of my spiel, and officially anyway, the end of the Armory basic training. If anyone has any questions regarding anything in the Armory at all, this is the time to ask. I will be around for a bit, for a while longer if you want to shoot me a DM in case there's a question you may be... But bear in mind that there are no bad questions. Feel free to ask anything, even if it's, when to use an anvil. I've had to learn... games. Okay, yeah, cool. But yeah, if there are any questions, there are no bad questions. I've had to learn the Armory pretty much from scratch, and I would rather avoid anyone else having to go through that. So any questions at all? Alright.
Question.
Okay.
Is there any guides on leading in the Discord?
Yes there are. It's a bit... Horace, you want to take this one? You're more familiar with the, Yes, I can see you brimming with enthusiasm. Go ahead.
Wow, thanks.
It's a bit of a maze at the moment. We are looking to streamline the guides thing, update information. Update information that's maybe a bit outdated and sort of removed any redundancies. But if you have any questions, feel free to shoot Horace or me a DM.
I have a question more related to squad leading. Like, when there's an open platoon and someone takes squad lead, do they need, like, do you need to lead really, or do you just need a mic and once in a while you say something?
That is a good question, and it's one there isn't really a clear-cut answer to. Squad leading is honestly something that you should voluntarily pick. So if you don't have the energy, you're having a really bad day, that, or you're really, really tired, that will bleed over into your squad leading. In that case, I would probably suggest trying to find a different, like a squad lead to replace you. If you're willing to squad lead, how you lead is honestly, well, how to put it? How you lead is up to you, but there are sort of standards, I guess. Not really standards, but there are things to look out for good squad leading. Mic is generally required. You will probably want to direct your squad to stuff like logistics you're pulling, so Valkyries or Sunderas, so you can all spawn in. Specific objectives, you can use your markers and squad smokes, for example. But if you don't want to talk that much, you can honestly just put the squad waypoint or your smokes at a place, quickly say, squad waypoint's updated, and move on with your life. Yeah, there's not a real clear-cut answer.
But I guess my question was, do you need platoon lead experience to do squad leading, or are they both like really different?
There are some aspects which are similar, but they're actually quite different in my personal experience. Squad leading can get a bit more micro-y. So basically, I suppose one example is the platoon lead says capture this base, and squad leaders you trust will basically manage the micro of that. So our squad leads will generally be the ones marking out like specific objectives that the squad needs to hold, like specific buildings or specific points. Squad leads will also typically be in charge of pulling logistics for their squad, so Sunderas, Valkyries, Galaxies, whatever they need, or coordinating or pulling armor and stuff, getting their squad to pull armor or air. So yeah, squad leading can be a bit more micro-y than platoon leading. Platoon leads, in my experience in platoon leading, I generally get shackled to the map, and so depend on good squad leads to manage the actual like micro pushes and grenade spams and all of that. I would actually recommend getting started with squad leading to have experience platoon leading. Yes. As Horace said, your skills do transfer between squad lead and platoon leading. So your ability to coordinate, your communication skills, your conflict resolution skills, all of these transfer between squad lead and platoon leading, but the roles themselves are a little... So yeah, squad leads generally more micro-y. Platoon leads generally have to care more about strategy and finding good fights.
Okay, thank you.
That being said, if you're a squad lead and you see an opportunity, you can suggest it to your platoon lead. Hey, maybe, something like, hey, maybe we should be over here, or have you considered, platoon lead, have you considered maybe getting off of this grindy farm and moving to this base instead? But be careful not to backseat platoon. If you're the one giving the orders, you should probably stop and think about what the hell. I've actually got a bit of a personal story, actually, going for squad leading first. Before I joined SKL, I did squad leading a fair amount for Dark on the Connery server. They did very cohesive, yet still public platoons, and I learned a lot through there. As a result, some of my callouts are a bit more dated, but yeah, squad leading is a good place to start. And a good squad lead is always appreciated in my platoons. Any other questions? Yeah, the Armory is a part of leadership. I'm more than welcome to answer questions, and I'm sure Horace is more than willing to answer questions regarding leadership. So. Are there any other questions?
Last question. How are you doing?
I really need some water, but that's about it. But otherwise I'm fine.
Perfect.
How's your day going? / night?
Pretty good. And I have
Alright.
water, so I'm good on that part.
Yeah, really need to grab some. If there are no other questions, I will be around for a bit, although I will be AFK for a while as I get food and water. It is around 9 AM on my end, and I haven't had breakfast yet. But feel free to hit us up with a direct message or find us on Discord if you want to ask any other questions you may have. If there are no other questions, I will disband the platoon, and you can get back to merrily farming away on wherever you find yourself. Ah, yes.
I want to say something.
Go on.
Sapiante, I always imagined you as this, blonde guy with blue eyes with some dirty, dirty beard. Am I close, or the opposite?
Nowhere even close. Although I did have a beard until a while ago. I did have a beard until a while ago.
Okay.
Alright, again. Alright, thank you everyone for attending this Armory basic training. Good luck on wherever you find yourself.
Damn it.
Thank you, have a nice day.
Hopefully we see better usage of the Armory, because it can really be underutilized sometimes. Alright, take care everyone.
Yeah.
No
Take
problem
care.
at all.